There's a quiet moment we don't often talk about, standing in front of the mirror, not knowing what to reach for. Not because the closet's empty, but because nothing feels quite like you anymore. You're not chasing youth. You're searching for something softer. Ease in how things fall on your skin. The kind of beauty that doesn't ask for permission. Confidence that feels earned, not borrowed. And maybe, just maybe, a blouse that brings that all back to the surface. Last spring, I was at the farmer's market in Savannah. It was warm, breezy, the kind of day that makes you want to linger. A woman, perhaps 62 with silver curls and linen sleeves rolled up, was picking peaches beside me. She wasn't dressed up, but something about the soft blush blouse she wore, the way it moved when she laughed with the vendor. I couldn't help myself. I leaned in and said, "You look radiant." She smiled and said, "It's just something old I forgot I loved." And in that moment I thought, how many of us have forgotten the things that make us glow? Today, I want to help you remember, not by starting over, but by choosing well. Let's explore 6 blouses, quiet, graceful, and full of life, that don't just flatter the outside, but help you feel like yourself again. Starting with a piece that holds light like no other. 1. When light touches satin. There's a quiet moment, often unnoticed, that happens when light brushes against fabric, just right. It softens the edges of our face, brings warmth to our expression, and somehow makes us feel a little more alive. I've always believed that the right blouse doesn't just dress the body, it reflects the soul. For many women over 60, satin sounds intimidating. It brings back memories of holiday dresses we wore decades ago, or outfits too shiny to feel natural. But the satin I'm talking about isn't loud. It's gentle. It drapes instead of clings. It reflects instead of screams. And it's surprisingly kind to our skin. The secret is in the finish. Not high gloss, not costume-like, but that soft, elegant glow. One that bounces light back to the face and creates the illusion of brightness and lift, especially around the neckline and collarbones. When worn in the right shade, ivory, powder blue, soft bronze, it can do more for your complexion than most makeup I've owned. And it does something else too. It shifts how we feel inside. Let me tell you about Diane. I met her last autumn at a small poetry night in Asheville. White hair in a loose bun, pearl earrings, and the most beautiful slate blue satin blouse I'd seen in ages. "Almost wore a sweater," she whispered to me with a shy smile, "but my daughter said this brings out my eyes." That one sentence stayed with me, because that blouse, it didn't just bring out her eyes, it brought her forward, into the moment, into the room. It gave her permission to shine, quietly. That's what satin does, when chosen thoughtfully. It elevates the everyday. You can pair it with soft trousers or even your favorite old jeans, half tucked, loose, or belted at the waist. Add a pendant or delicate earrings, and suddenly the day feels just a little more special. And here's the good news. It doesn't have to be expensive. Many satin look blouses, made from blends like polyester or viscose, are budget-friendly and easy to care for. I found one of my favorites at a church thrift shop in Virginia for under $12. It has a slightly scooped neckline and drapes like a dream. But here's what I've learned the hard way. Avoid satin that's too shiny or tight. That's not softness. That's spotlight. And we don't need spotlight. What we need is light that flatters, not reveals. A cut that floats, not squeezes. For years, I avoided satin because I thought it belonged to younger women or special occasions. But now, I reach for it on days I feel dull or unsure. Because something about it reminds me, softness isn't weakness, it's power, held gently. So if you've been standing in front of your closet thinking, I don't want to disappear, but I don't want to scream either, try satin, just once. In a shade that warms your skin, in a cut that gives you room to breathe. You might be surprised by how it lifts not just your outfit, but your energy. Elegance, after all, isn't about being seen. It's about being remembered, quietly. And once we've touched on light and softness, let's move to something just as important, structure. Because after a blouse that flows, what we need next is a pant that shapes without swallowing us whole. Tell me, do you own a blouse that brings you back to yourself on hard days? What does it look like? I'd love to know. 2. The breathable confidence. Some mornings, the weight of the day begins with what we wear. You stand by the closet, coffee cooling on the nightstand, and think, I just want something that feels kind, not tight, not stiff, just kind. That's where the linen blend tunic quietly steps in. It doesn't try to shape or squeeze you. It simply moves with you, like a deep breath in fabric form. Linen has been a companion of mine for years, but it wasn't always love at first wear. In my 40s, I found it too wrinkly. In my 50s, too plain. But now, in my 60s, I understand. It's not trying to impress. It's trying to comfort. A soft linen, or linen blend V-neck tunic, allows your skin to breathe, your arms to move, and your spirit to feel just a little lighter. It whispers, not shouts. And at this age, that's the kind of grace we seek. Let me share a moment with you. Last spring, at the farmer's market in Eugene, Oregon, I saw a woman, maybe 70, silver curls tucked under a straw hat, wearing a dusty rose linen tunic over pale cream trousers. Nothing fancy, no jewelry, no lipstick. But there was something magnetic about her. She looked unbothered, at ease. A quiet confidence in how she walked, slowly, holding sunflowers in one hand and a tote in the other. I caught myself smiling. That's the kind of energy a good blouse can carry. Not effort, but ease. The key to wearing linen in a way that flatters is the cut and the blend. Go for a V neckline. It opens up the chest, lifts the face, and avoids the boxy effect high collars can create. Look for blends with viscose or rayon. They're softer, less prone to stiff creases, and they fall more gracefully on our frames. Color-wise? Think muted but radiant. Light olive, dusty periwinkle, ivory, soft sage. Shades that echo nature, not neon signs. And don't worry, true elegance doesn't need ironing. I keep a handheld steamer in my laundry room. One gentle sweep and my tunic feels like it just took a breath of fresh air. Pair it with slim pants or a soft belt at the waist, and suddenly you've created shape without sacrificing comfort. I reach for linen on days I feel overstimulated. It calms me. There's a beauty in feeling the breeze through your blouse, in knowing your outfit isn't clinging to critique or convention. It simply exists to make space for you. When your clothes breathe, so can you. So if you've been searching for something that doesn't fight your shape but flows with it, try a linen tunic. You might find that the softness you've been chasing in your reflection starts with what you're wrapped in. Next, let's talk about something that flatters nearly every woman I've met over 60, a wrap blouse. Not just for the waist it defines, but for the dignity it restores. Tell me, Do you have a blouse that helps you feel calm in your own skin? I'd love to hear the story behind it. 3. Wrapping with kindness. There's a certain kind of morning when the mirror feels louder than it should. Not angry, just blunt. You try on 3 different tops, each one tighter in places that didn't used to exist, looser in places that once held shape. And you whisper to yourself, "Why is nothing working today?" I know that feeling, and I know the quiet magic of a wrap blouse. A wrap blouse doesn't force, it forgives. It understands that bodies evolve, that bellies soften, that shoulders shift, that waistlines come and go. The genius lies in the way it draws the eye inward, gently defining the waist without clinging. It moves with you, not against you. A silhouette that respects change. A few months ago, I ran into an old colleague, Beth, at a local gallery opening in Asheville. She had retired early from her law firm and looked, frankly, luminous. Not in a loud or showy way, but grounded. She wore a deep emerald wrap blouse, soft jersey with a matte finish, tied just off-center. Slim trousers, low heels, no necklace. And yet, she looked like the woman in the room who knew herself best. We ended up on the gallery patio with lemonade and shared stories. She told me she had gained weight during the pandemic, lost confidence, and avoided events like this. Then one day, she found a blouse that didn't ask her to be thinner. It just asked her to show up. That was the wrap. I didn't have to fight with it, she smiled. It met me where I was. That stuck with me. Choose wrap blouses in soft fabrics, matte jersey, modal blends, even cotton voile. Look for internal ties or adjustable closures so you can loosen or tighten without fuss. And please, skip anything stiff or shiny. This isn't about looking perfect, it's about feeling composed. Colors. Think strength softened, plum, soft teal, espresso, deep rose. They carry richness without noise. And the neckline? Oh, it does wonders. A wrap's open V elongates the neck, draws attention to your face, and avoids the boxed-in feeling that crew necks can sometimes bring. Add one pendant or nothing at all. The blouse already does the talking, with tenderness. I reach for a wrap when I want to feel gently held. It doesn't correct my shape. It honors it. A good wrap doesn't hug the past. It embraces the now. And isn't that what we want in this chapter of life? To feel seen, not squeezed. Coming up, let's explore a piece that reflects elegance without saying a word. A white blouse that redefines quiet strength. Tell me, do you have a piece in your wardrobe that helps you feel at peace with the woman you are today? I'd love to hear how it found you. 4. White, but not cold. Some colors arrive in our wardrobe with a bit of hesitation. White, especially, can feel intimidating after 60. It shows everything, doesn't it? The creases, the curves, the spills from morning coffee. But what if I told you, white isn't the problem? The cut is. The texture is. The story we've attached to it is. A well-chosen white blouse doesn't feel clinical or cold. It feels like light, soft, open, confident. And when worn right, it does something subtle but powerful. It reflects light back onto your face. That little glow? It's not makeup. It's presence. I remember meeting Jeanette. She's 72 and volunteers at the Botanical Garden in Richmond. The first time I saw her, she wore a sculpted white blouse with 3/4 sleeves and an asymmetric hem. No necklace. Just a slim linen pant and leather flats. She looked fresh, not in a youthful way, but in a rooted, radiant way. I complimented her blouse and she laughed, saying, "I used to avoid white like the flu. Now it's my power move." She told me she used to wear beige or dusty rose all the time, thinking they were safe. But one day, after a rough doctor's appointment, she tried on a structured white blouse with a soft pleat at the back. It didn't ask her to hide. It asked her to show up. Here's the key. Avoid stiff, boxy cuts. Look for white blouses with soft tailoring, darts, gathers, or gentle peplums. Fabrics matter too. Cotton poplin with a touch of stretch, viscose blends, or even soft satin. These move with your body instead of standing apart from it. Steer clear of anything too sheer or too shiny. You want glow, not glare. What makes a white blouse come alive is in the details. A soft puff at the sleeve, a mother-of-pearl button, a curved hemline. These don't shout. They hum. They say, I'm awake, I'm intentional, I care. I'll often steam my white blouses gently before wearing. There's something about pressing out the folds that feels like clearing space in the day. It's like preparing to meet the world with clarity. White isn't absence, it's invitation. And after 60, that's what we're seeking, isn't it? Not noise, not hiding, just presence. Next, let's talk about a soft knit piece that brings both elegance and ease, your comfort, redefined. But tell me this, when was the last time you wore white and felt powerful in it? What made it work or not? I'd love to know your story. 5. Knit that knows you. There are days when all you want is softness. Not just in fabric, but in how the world greets you. Mornings when the body feels a little slower, the skin more tender, and you crave something that doesn't fight you, but flows with you. That's where a knit blouse steps in, not the bulky kind that swallows your shape, nor the clingy ones that reveal too much. I'm talking about those beautifully cut, lightweight knit tops that feel like a warm cup of tea. Quiet, comforting, but still dignified. Let me tell you about Darlene, one of my old sewing clients from Spokane. She turned 66 this year and has the gentlest laugh you've ever heard. One afternoon, she dropped by in a soft mocha knit blouse with a boat neckline and tiny pearl buttons at the sleeve. It was understated, but something about it made me pause. She said, I used to think looking nice meant putting on armor, structured jackets, heavy scarves. Now, I just want to feel like I'm not pretending anymore. And that knit, it let her be herself, gracefully. It didn't stiffen her shoulders or pull at her waist. It moved with her, like it knew her shape and honored it. Here's the insight. A fine gauge knit in a mid-tone color, rosewood, lavender gray, dusty teal, can offer both polish and ease. Look for details that elevate, a ribbed texture, 3/4 sleeves, or a soft neckline that frames your collarbone. Blends like modal, viscose, or cotton acrylic work beautifully. They're breathable, they drape well, and they don't wrinkle easily. These pieces aren't loud. They're intentional. When you put one on, it doesn't ask for attention. It simply supports you. And that's exactly what our clothes should do now. Not define us, but reflect us. I keep 3 knit blouses in my own wardrobe, one for summer, one for layering, and one that's just for me. You know that one. When you slip it on, take one look in the mirror and think, yes, that's the woman I still am. The right knit doesn't dress you up. It brings you home. Next, let's explore a softer side of elegance, one with gentle movement and just a hint of soul. Now I'm curious. Do you have a knit top that's your comfort armor? What makes it special to you? 6. The blouse that dances with you. Do you remember the last time your blouse moved before you did? just a second ahead of your body, a little sway, a gentle ripple, like it was alive with you, not just on you. Some blouses aren't just worn, they move with you. They whisper as you walk. They catch a breeze and carry it, softening your shape without hiding it. And when you're over 60, that kind of ease, that lightness, isn't just about comfort. It's about presence. There's one kind of blouse that brings this to life beautifully, the elegant peasant blouse. Not the overly embroidered, fringe-heavy kind from the 70s, but a refined, boho-inspired piece that feels feminine without feeling girlish. Let me take you back to last September at a backyard jazz brunch in Santa Fe. My friend Janine showed up in this antique white peasant blouse, airy cotton, delicate pin tucks, and flutter sleeves that dance with the wind. She paired it with light chambray trousers and just the faintest touch of coral lipstick. And you know what struck me? She didn't look dressed up. She looked alive. And when she laughed, that kind of head thrown back, belly deep laugh, the blouse moved with her like it was part of the moment. That's the kind of energy the right peasant blouse brings. It doesn't try. It simply flows. Here's the inside. Choose soft, breathable fabrics, cotton voile, viscose blends, or light rayon. Go for subtle texture over bold prints. Think washed sage, dusty mauve, antique blush, or a faded indigo. Details like pin tucking, gentle gathers at the shoulder, or a split neckline with ties. These add character without making a scene. And let's talk silhouette. You want drape, not volume. Fluidity, not fluff. The blouse should skim, not balloon. Pair it with something clean and structured on the bottom. A slim pant, a straight meaty skirt, so the look feels intentional. This blouse is also surprisingly versatile. Wear it with flats to the market, or dress it up with a delicate chain and soft trousers for dinner on the patio. It's an energy piece. It says, I'm soft, but I'm grounded. And here's what I've learned at this age. Movement matters. We're not mannequins. We stretch, we breathe, we laugh. So should our clothing. When I wear mine, pale cinnamon with a scalloped neckline, I always feel like I'm moving with the day, not against it. That's power wrapped in softness. Some blouses don't just clothe you, they keep your rhythm. Coming up, let's complete the look, because the right top deserves the right frame. Let's talk about shoes that quietly finish the thought. Now I'd love to know, do you own a blouse that moves with you? Not just physically, but emotionally. Tell me what makes it special. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly smiled? Not a polite smile for someone else. Not a quick glance before heading out the door. But a gentle, quiet moment. Just you, your reflection, and a little softness in the heart. Maybe it's been a while. Life moves fast, and somewhere between errands, family, and change, we stop looking. Or if we do, we only see what time has taken, not what it's left behind. But today, we remembered something. 6 blouses. Not miracle pieces, not magic tricks, just thoughtful choices. And the 8 don't turn back the clock, but they help you return to yourself, to the part that still shines, the part that's always been feminine, radiant, and quietly strong. You don't need a whole new wardrobe, just 1 or 2 pieces chosen with care. Try them on again, but this time, not to cover age, to live with it, kindly, gracefully, proudly. Tomorrow morning, choose a blouse for you, one that makes you stand taller. one that makes you feel more you than yesterday, even if no one sees it, especially if no one sees it. I've always believed when we dress with love for ourselves, the world softens a little, like a warm cup of tea, like a smile from the inside out. So tell me, which blouse will you wear just for you tomorrow? I'll be here. Same time, same warm cup.